The big room was quiet. Bill stood up from his chair. He was the human leader who spoke for Earth. The huge dome above showed many stars, creating colors that fell on the faces of many different aliens. About 20 different types of aliens watched Bill. Some looked shocked. Some looked angry. Some looked scared. For 300 years, humans have tried to work with the Galactic Council, Bill said in a calm voice. For 300 years, we have given up things. We have made ourselves smaller. We have accepted your rules about how we can grow. The alien with skin like black glass leaned forward. Mr. Grant, we already finished talking about human military growth in our last meeting. The Council has made its choice. Bill smiled, but not in a friendly way. Yes, the Council has made its choice, just like when you said no to helping during the food shortage at our Proxima colony. Just like when you blocked our new medical advances because they would change your health systems too much. Just like when you gave us almost no defense help during the screed attack that killed 50,000 humans. He took a small crystal from his pocket and put it gently on the shiny table. This says humans are leaving the Galactic Council, starting right now. The room got very loud. The big, armor-covered aliens banged on their desks. The see-through aliens flickered like broken lights because they were upset. "Quiet," shouted the head alien Vrax. She raised all 4 of her arms. The lizard-like alien next to her made hissing sounds and warned about terrible things that would happen. When everyone got quiet, she looked at Bill with her many-part eyes. "Mr. Grant, no one has ever left the Council. The money punishments alone would destroy Earth's colonies." "Maybe before," Bill said calmly. "But we've been getting ready for this for many years. As of 6 o'clock Earth time today, no Council ships can enter human space. Our defense systems are turned on. Our borders are closed." As Bill turned to leave, an alien from the warlike Dreth group called out, "Without Council protection, you know what will happen? There are dangerous aliens outside the borders that we have kept away." Bill stopped at the door and looked back over his shoulder. "We're counting on it." 10 days later, Sam Jones sat in his small ship, looking at the star map. He was one of the first human border patrol officers since Earth left the Council. His job was new and important. "Ship coming," said the computer voice. "Council markings." Sam straightened up in his seat. "Show me." A picture appeared showing a sleek silver ship. It was trying to enter human space without permission. "Warning shot," Sam ordered. His ship fired a bright beam that passed close to the Council ship. "Unknown ship, this is Earth Border Patrol," Sam said into the communication system. "You are entering closed human space. Turn around now." "This is Council Ship Harmony," came an angry voice. "We have traveled this route for 200 years. Your border claim is against Council law." Sam sighed. This was the 3rd Council ship today. They still didn't believe humans were serious. "Council Ship Harmony, we don't follow Council law anymore. This is your last warning. Turn around or we will disable your engines." There was a long silence. Sam could almost feel the shock from the aliens. No one talked to Council ships this way. "This is outrageous." The Council captain finally said the Council will— 5 seconds to comply, Sam interrupted. He didn't care about Council threats anymore. No human did. The Council ship slowly turned around. Sam nodded with satisfaction. His communication panel lit up. It was his boss, Captain Linda White. "Another one turning away?" she asked. "Yes, Captain. They're still testing our borders," Linda nodded. "It's happening all over. The Council can't believe we really left." She looked down at something off-screen. "We have a different problem now. Get to these coordinates fast." New numbers appeared on Sam's navigation screen. He punched them in and his ship jumped into faster than light travel. When he arrived, Sam saw something that made his heart beat faster. A huge alien ship with a strange organic look was attacking a small human mining station. This wasn't a Council ship. This was something much worse. "Vaxid, scout ship," Linda's voice said over the communication. "The thing the Council has been keeping back. Seems they're already testing our defenses now that we're alone." Sam felt cold fear. The Vaxid were dangerous aliens that ate everything in their path. The Council had fought them for years. What should I do? My weapons aren't strong enough. For that. Help is coming, Linda said. Just watch and record everything. This is actually perfect timing. Perfect? Sam couldn't believe what he was hearing. They're attacking our people. The station was emptied yesterday, Linda explained. We had intelligence this might happen. Now watch. Space suddenly bent and twisted around the Vaxid ship. Where there was nothing before 5 large human warships appeared. They were like nothing Sam had ever seen. Sleek, dark, and bristling with weapons the Council had never allowed humans to build. The lead human ship fired a single, precise beam that cut through the Vaxid vessel like it was paper. The alien ship exploded in silent, beautiful destruction. Recording complete, Linda said with satisfaction. Send it to every Council world. Let them see what we've been hiding. Let them see what they pushed us to create. Sam watched as the new human ships vanished as quickly as they had appeared. He understood now. Humans hadn't just left the Council. They had been preparing for war. That night, in the Grand Council chamber, the alien leaders watched the recording of the Vaxid ship being destroyed. Their faces showed fear, anger, and for some a new feeling. Respect. They were holding back, whispered the head alien, Vrax. All these years they were holding back. The lizard-like alien hissed softly. And now we've lost control of them. No, said a third alien, its voice deep and troubled. Now we have to face what we created. A human species with no limits, no restraints, and 300 years of frustration. On Earth, in the deep underground military command center, General Kate Brown watched as reports came in from all around human space. Council ships retreating. Alien traders requesting new agreements. Former enemies reaching out with cautious respect. It's working, she said to the human president who stood beside her. The Council is beginning to understand. The president nodded. And the Vaxid? Kate smiled coldly. They'll keep coming. And each time we'll show the galaxy more of what humans can really do. And if the Council asks for help against the Vaxid, then they'll learn the most important lesson, Kate said. The price of making humans your enemy, and the value of making us your friend. 3 months after Earth left the Council, Jane Miller stood by the big window on Moonbase 1. She watched as workers built huge ships in space. These ships would have been against Council rules before. Jane was in charge of all human ships. Now her job title was Fleet Admiral. Admiral Miller, said her helper, Steve Rogers. He walked up with a small screen in his hand. We have news from beyond our space. The Vaxid aliens have attacked 3 Council areas. Jane nodded. She was not surprised. How is the Council fighting back? Badly, Steve said. Without human ships and fighters, they have lost 25 star systems already. Jane looked at the newest ship being built. It was 5 times bigger than anything the Council had allowed humans to make before. Its weapons could destroy a moon. Have they asked for our help yet? Jane asked. Yes. A message came an hour ago. They want emergency help. Jane smiled a little. 3 months. I thought they would last at least 6 before begging. What should I tell them? Tell them we will take in people who need to escape. But if they want our military help, they must agree to new rules. Jane turned away from the window. And what about our other visitor? The Krall leader arrives in 4 hours, Steve said quietly. Just like you asked, no one knows he is coming. The Krall were strong aliens with red scales and sharp teeth. The Council had kept them weak for hundreds of years, just like humans. Now Earth was making new friends with old enemies. In another part of the base, Sam Jones was training new pilots. After his meeting with the Vaxid scout ship, he had been promoted. Now he taught others how to fight the new enemy. The Vaxid ships looked messy, like they grew instead of being built. Sam told the 20 young pilots, but don't be fooled. They are smart and learn quickly. A young woman raised her hand. Is it true that we're letting the Council fight alone? Shouldn't we help them? Sam thought carefully before answering. For 300 years, the Council limited our weapons and ships. They said it was for peace. Now we know it was to keep us weak. He pointed to the new ships they could see through the training room window. If we had listened to them, we would not have these ships now. We would not be able to defend ourselves. But people are dying, another pilot said. Yes, Sam agreed. And the Council must learn that their actions have costs. Once they understand that they need us more than we need them, the galaxy will be safer for everyone. The training room door opened. Captain Linda White walked in. Sam, we need you. A council ship crossed our border without permission, but this time it's different. Sam followed Linda to the command center. On the big screen, he saw a small council ship. It was damaged and moving strangely. They say they have important people on board, Linda explained. Leaders running from a Vaxid attack. Why come here instead of going to another council world? Sam asked. Linda looked grim. Because they say there are no safe council worlds left in that sector. Jane Miller joined them, her face serious. Put them on screen. The image changed to show the inside of the council ship. Smoke filled the air. 3 different types of aliens looked back at them. One had blue skin with silver spots. One looked like a big insect. The third was small with 4 arms. This is the council ship Hope, said the blue alien. We need emergency landing permission. We have the regional governor on board. Our world has fallen to the Vaxid. Please help us. Jane stepped forward. This is Fleet Admiral Jane Miller of Earth. You have entered closed human space without permission. We had no choice, cried the insect alien. The Vaxid destroyed our defense fleet. They ate our planet's surface. Millions dead. Jane's face showed nothing. Under the new human border laws, unauthorized entry is not allowed even in emergency. The aliens looked shocked. But we will die. However, Jane continued, we are prepared to offer sanctuary under the following conditions. First, the governor must formally acknowledge that Earth is independent from the Council. Second, you must share all data on Vaxid movements and attacks. Third, you must agree to live under human laws while in our space. The blue alien seemed angry. You would use our emergency to force political agreements, just like the Council. Use the Proxima Colony famine to force us to reduce our fleet size 5 years ago, Jane said coldly. Just like the Council used the medical emergency on Mars to take control of our research labs. You taught us these tactics. We were good students. The aliens talked among themselves quickly. Finally, the governor stepped into view. He was the small, 4-armed alien. We agree to your terms, he said. We have no choice. Exactly, Jane said. Welcome to human space, Governor. We'll send an escort to bring you in safely. She ended the call and turned to her team. Make sure they're treated well. We're not monsters. We're just done being pushed around. Steve checked his screen. Admiral, we have reports of 5 more council ships running from Vaxid attacks. Same rules apply, Jane ordered. They want our help. They acknowledge our independence and share their data. Later that day, Jane met with the Kral leader in a private room. The big red-scaled alien looked uncomfortable in the human chair. Your border defense is impressive, the Kral leader said in a deep voice. Our scouts report the Vaxid cannot break through. We've been preparing for years, Jane said. While pretending to follow council limits, we were building in secret. Kral showed his sharp teeth in what might have been a smile. The council kept my people from expanding for 500 years. They said we were too aggressive, too dangerous. They kept your people weak for the same reason. And now they need us both, Jane said. Interesting how quickly things change. What do you propose? Asked the Kral. Jane touched a button, and a map of the galaxy appeared in the air between them. An alliance. Not with the Council, but between our peoples and others the Council has kept down. Together we can be stronger than the Council ever was. The Kral studied the map. And the Vaxid. We let them weaken the Council further, Jane said. Then, when the time is right, our new alliance will save what's left. On our terms. The Council would never have allowed such thinking, the Kral said. They called it dangerous. Jane's smile was cold. That's exactly why they're losing, and we're going to win. That night, As Jane looked out at the stars from her office, she thought about the future. The Council had ruled for thousands of years by keeping species divided and weak. By leaving, humans had started something new. Earth ships were now the strongest in known space. Earth weapons were the most advanced. And human anger at 3 centuries of Council limits had turned into something powerful: determination. The Council thought abandoning them was our mistake, Jane said to herself. They're about to learn it was actually theirs. Captain Greg Nelson stood on the bridge of his ship, the Earth vessel Defender. His ship was hiding behind a small moon. On his screen, he could see 15 Council ships surrounding a human colony called New Hope. The colony was built on a beautiful planet with 2 suns. They really think they can take our colony, Greg said to his second-in-command, Amy Clark, even after everything that's happened. The Council is desperate, Amy said. They've lost 30 systems to the Vaxid in just a few months. The leader of the Council ships, an alien named Jorex, sent a message to the colony. Greg listened as the alien's voice filled his bridge. Human colony, this is Commander Jorex of Council Enforcement. Your illegal separation has been rejected. Return to Council rule or face immediate punishment. Greg nodded to Amy. Time to show them what we can do. Amy pressed a button. Around the Council ships, space seemed to bend and twist. 5 human ships appeared where there had been nothing before. Greg's ship, the Defender, was the largest. Council forces, this is Captain Greg Nelson of Earth Vessel Defender, he said calmly. You are not allowed in human space. You have 30 seconds to turn off your weapons and prepare to be escorted to the border. The alien commander sounded angry when he replied, This is official Council business. Your ships are using cloaking technology forbidden by Council law. We don't follow Council law anymore, Commander, Greg replied. 20 seconds left. The Council ships turned to face the human vessels. Greg could tell they were surprised by the size and design of the human ships. Earth had been building these ships in secret for years, waiting for the day they would leave the Council. This is outrageous, Jorex shouted. The Council will... His message was cut off when a crew member on his bridge interrupted. Commander, our sensors show 50 more human ships appearing. Impossible, Jorex whispered. But it was true. Greg had called in reinforcements. Human ships were appearing all around the Council fleet, their sleek hulls covered with weapons the Council had never seen before. Time's up, Greg said. Since talking isn't working, we'll have to show you what we can do. He nodded to Amy. She pressed a red button. A single beam of energy shot out from the Defender. It cut through Jorex's ship with perfect aim, hitting only the parts that controlled movement and weapons. No one on the Council ship was hurt, but they could no longer fight or fly away. Similar beams hit each Council ship at the same time. In less than 5 seconds, all 15 Council ships were floating helplessly in space. Greg spoke to all the Council ships. For hundreds of years, humans held back our technology to make the Council happy. Those days are over. We're going to tow you to the border with just enough fuel to reach the nearest Council station. Take this message back. Human space is closed. Next time, we won't be so nice. As the Council ships were pulled away by tractor beams, the leader of New Hope Colony, Ben Lee, called the Defender. Captain Nelson, that was amazing, but the Council will be very angry about this. We're counting on it, Governor, Greg replied, watching the Council ships on his screen. Everything is going exactly as planned. 3 days later, in a secret meeting room on Earth, Jane Miller sat with the President of Earth, Alan White. They were looking at reports from all over human space. The news of what happened at New Hope has spread to every corner of the galaxy, Jane said. The Council can't believe how strong we've become. Alan nodded. And the Vaxid attacks? Getting worse, Jane replied. The Council has lost 5 more systems since we disabled their ships at New Hope. They're beginning to panic. Good, Alan said. Fear makes people more willing to accept change. The door opened and Bill Grant walked in. He was the man who had announced Earth's withdrawal from the Council 6 months ago. The Krall have officially joined our alliance, Bill announced, and the Vezra are close to agreeing as well. The Vezra were insect-like aliens who had also been kept weak by the Council for centuries, with the Krall already on board, adding, "The Vezra would make the new human-led alliance very powerful." "What about the message from the Council?" Alan asked. Bill smiled. "They want to meet. They're offering to forgive our withdrawal if we help them fight the Vaxid." Jane laughed. "Forgive us, they should be begging us." "They will be," Alan said. "But not yet. They're still too proud." He turned to Jane. "How many refugee ships arrived today?" 17, Jane said. "All from Council worlds that fell to the Vaxid. We've set up the refugee camp on Mars as you ordered." Alan looked thoughtful. "Make sure they're treated well. Show them that humans are not the monsters the Council made us out to be." Bill checked his screen. "The Council representatives will arrive tomorrow for the meeting. They're sending 3 of their highest leaders." "Good," Alan said. "Let them see what we've built while they weren't watching." The next day, 3 Council leaders walked through Earth's space station. They looked nervous as they passed human soldiers in new advanced armor. They had never seen humans looking so powerful. In the meeting room, Alan White waited with Jane Miller and Bill Grant. When the Council members entered, Alan did not stand up. "Welcome to Earth space," he said coolly. "I understand you have a problem you think we can help with." The lead Council member, a tall blue alien, tried to look dignified. "President White, this crisis affects all species. The Vaxid threat requires unity." "Unity," Jane repeated. "Interesting word choice. Where was this unity when human colonies were starving? Where was this unity when the Screet attacked our outer worlds?" The second Council member, a floating gas-like being, pulsed with agitation. "The past is not important now. We must focus on survival." "The past is always important," Bill said. "It teaches us who we can trust." Alan leaned forward. "Here are our terms. The Council will publicly acknowledge Earth's independence. All restrictions on human technology will be permanently removed, and the Council will pay reparations for 3 centuries of limiting our growth." The third Council member, a small reptile-like alien, hissed in anger. "This is blackmail. You would use this crisis to destroy the Council's authority?" "Not at all," Alan said calmly. "We're simply establishing the new reality. The old galaxy is gone. The Vaxid saw to that. The new galaxy will be built on different rules." He stood up. "You have 1 day to decide. Unlike the Council, we don't believe in long meetings during emergencies." As the Council members left, clearly shocked by the human demands, Jane turned to Alan. "Do you think they'll agree?" "They have no choice," Alan replied. "Every day they wait, the Vaxid take another system. Their people are dying. Their power is fading." He looked out the window at the massive human fleet gathered around Earth. "And they know now that we were never weak. We were just patient." 1 month after the meeting with the Council leaders, Lisa Chen stood in the big meeting room on Earth Space Station. She was in charge of making new agreements with other species. Today was a very important day. Representatives from 7 different alien species were in the room. None of them had liked the Council much. "Welcome to the first official meeting of the new alliance," Lisa said. "Each of you represents a species that the Council kept down for too long." The room was filled with strange and different aliens. The red-scaled Krall stood tall and proud. The insect-like Vezra clicked their mouthparts. The rock-skinned Quarathi glittered under the lights. 4 other species that had recently joined sat in special chairs made for their different body types. "The Council kept us apart on purpose," Lisa continued. "They knew that together, we would be too strong for them to control." The Krall leader nodded his big head. "They told us humans were dangerous warmakers. They told humans we were savage beasts, all to keep us fighting each other instead of seeing the truth." The Vezra representative's antennae twitched. "The Council only let us have 1 nest per star system. A rule just for us. No other species had such limits on how they could live." Lisa pressed a button. Big pictures appeared in the air showing how each species in the room could help each other. "Humans are good at fighting and coming up with new ideas," she explained. "The Krall are the best at getting resources from planets. Fezra can build things faster than anyone else. Kwarathi crystal technology is better than any computer. The aliens studied the pictures with growing interest. Lisa pointed to a map of the galaxy. United together, not under council rules, but as equal partners, we can be something new. An alliance that helps each other grow instead of holding each other back. The Kwarathi representative's voice sounded like bells. The council says humans left because you only care about yourselves. Yet you want to work together? We want to be practical, Lisa corrected. Humans could survive alone, yes, but we would rather succeed together with friends who understand that wanting to grow and improve is not wrong. As they talked, news came that 3 more council worlds had been taken by the Vaxid. The timing could not have been better for Lisa's plan. By morning, all 7 species had signed the agreement. The Alliance of Free Species was born. At the same time, on a planet far away, Sam Jones walked through a refugee camp. Thousands of aliens from fallen council worlds lived here now. Human doctors helped the sick. Human soldiers kept everyone safe. Human ships brought food and water every day. A small alien child with blue skin looked up at Sam. "Are you going to save my home world?" Sam knelt down. "We're going to try. That's why I'm here. I need to talk to your leaders." The child pointed to a big tent. Inside, Sam found the leaders of 5 different refugee groups. They looked tired and scared. "Captain Jones," one of them said, recognizing Sam's uniform, "have you brought news?" "I've brought an offer," Sam replied. "Earth is forming a new alliance. We need people who know about the council worlds that have fallen to the Vaxid, people who want to fight back." The alien leaders looked at each other. One of them, a tall being with 4 arms, spoke up. "The council abandoned us. They pulled their ships back to protect the core worlds. They left us to die." "We won't abandon you," Sam promised, "but we need your help to save what's left." "What kind of help?" asked another leader. "Information, maps, knowledge of council defenses and weak points, and people willing to join our new combined fleet." The 4-armed alien leaned forward. "You would let refugees serve on your ships?" "We would welcome them," Sam said. "This is a fight for all of us." After Sam left the refugee camp, he went to a military base nearby. Admiral Jane Miller was waiting for him. "How did it go?" she asked. "Just as you predicted," Sam answered. "They're angry at the council for leaving them behind. They're ready to join us instead." Jane smiled. "Excellent. And our new allies?" "The alliance agreement was signed this morning. 7 species have joined so far, with 3 more asking to join next week." Jane looked at a big screen showing the galaxy. Red areas showed where the Vaxid had taken over. Yellow showed council space, which was getting smaller every day. Green showed the growing alliance territory. "The council finally responded to our terms," Jane said. "They've agreed to recognize our independence, but they're still arguing about the payment for past damages." "Do we still need that?" Sam asked. "They're losing everything to the Vaxid." "It's not about the payment anymore," Jane explained. "It's about making them admit they were wrong. That's harder for them than losing planets." A message came in on Jane's screen. Her face became serious as she read it. "The Vaxid have broken through the last council defense line. They're heading for the council's home system." Sam looked shocked. "Already? Our report said they were at least 2 months away." "The council is weaker than we thought," Jane said. "Or the Vaxid are stronger." She pressed a button. "Send a message to all Alliance ships. It's time for Phase 3. "Phase 3? Sam asked. "I thought we were going to wait for the council to completely fall before we stepped in." "If we wait that long, there might not be anything left to save," Jane said. "And a good leader knows when to change the plan." On the other side of the galaxy, Bill Grant was preparing to return to the council chamber. This time, he wasn't going as Earth's ambassador, but as the leader of the Alliance fleet. "All ships report ready," said his second-in-command, Pete Wilson. Bill nodded. "The council thinks we've been watching from the sidelines, waiting for them to fall. They're about to learn that humans are more complicated than they thought." Looked worried. "Sir, the Vaxid have destroyed everything in their path. Are we really ready to fight them?" Bill smiled confidently. We've been ready for years. The weapons we built in secret, the ships we hid, the alliances we've formed, all of it was for this moment. He looked out at the massive fleet gathering around his command ship. The Council kept us weak because they feared human potential. Now they'll see that they were right to be afraid, but wrong about who should fear us. The Council chamber was not the beautiful place it had been a year ago. Half the seats were empty. Some of the alien leaders had died when the Vaxid took their worlds. Others had left to join the human alliance. The fancy ceiling that once shone with light was now dark to save power. High Chancellor Vrax looked old and tired as she faced the few council members who remained. The Vaxid have taken 17 more of our core systems in just the last month. We don't have enough places for all the refugees. The lizard-like alien hissed angrily. And still, the humans and their alliance only protect their own space. They watch as we are destroyed. Just then the big doors opened. Bill Grant walked in. He wasn't afraid or nervous like he had been when he came here a year ago to say Earth was leaving. Now he walked like someone who knew he had power. Behind him came leaders from the 7 species in the Alliance. Mr. Grant, Chancellor Vrax, said stiffly, the Council recognizes Earth. Not just Earth, Bill corrected. I speak for the Alliance of Free Species. He walked to the center of the room without asking permission. The Vaxid can be defeated. We've already pushed them back from Alliance space using weapons and technology that the Council never let us develop. Voices rose in anger and surprise. Bill kept talking. We come with an offer, not to help you but to replace you. The Council's time is over. You don't have the ships, the unity, or the ability to adapt quickly enough to survive. This is outrageous. The blue-skinned Valtraxian stood up in fury. You planned this crisis. You left knowing what would happen. Bill didn't deny it. The Council was dying before we left. Your way of doing things with endless meetings and rules cannot work against an enemy like the Vaxid that adapts and changes quickly. He pressed a button, and pictures appeared around the room. They showed Alliance ships fighting and beating Vaxid forces at the borders of Alliance space. Here's our offer. The Council will end. Each Council species can apply to join the Alliance as an equal partner. Alliance protection will start immediately for all who accept. Chancellor Vrax's many-part eyes reflected the battle images. And if we say no? Bill's face showed no emotion. The Alliance has secured its own borders. We have built places for refugees. When the Council completely falls, and it will fall, we will save as many of your people as we can. But your government, your special status, your control, those will be lost to the Vaxid. Silence filled the room as the Council members realized what choice they faced. They could give up their 3,000-year control of galaxy politics, or they could be destroyed. You planned this from the beginning, the lizard-like alien accused. Leaving the Council, forming the Alliance, letting the Vaxid weaken us while you grew stronger. Bill finally allowed himself a small smile. We learned politics from the best. The Council taught humanity patience through centuries of keeping us down. He turned to leave, the Alliance representatives following behind him. You have 7 days to decide. Unlike the Council, we don't believe in long discussions during emergencies. Admiral Jane Miller waited for Bill outside the chamber. She was looking at battle reports from the Vaxid front. How did they take it? She asked. Bill straightened his jacket. Just as we expected. First they were angry, then they accused us of planning it all, then they finally realized they have no other choice. Jane nodded. Makes sense. They spent hundreds of years making sure no single species could challenge Council power. Only to discover their real threat was what we became when we stopped trying to join them and created something better instead. 3 days later, in Earth's command center, President Alan White met with all the human leaders. A big screen showed the galaxy map. The red areas showing Vaxid control had grown bigger. The yellow Council space was now very small. The green Alliance territory was expanding. The first 5 Council species have agreed to our terms, Alan announced. They will officially join the Alliance tomorrow. Sam Jones, who had been promoted to commander, asked the question everyone was thinking. Sir, we could have helped the Council fight the Vaxid months ago. Why did we wait until now? Many people died. Alan looked at Sam with serious eyes. The Council system was broken. It had to end. But the Council species would never have agreed to that while they were strong. He pointed to the map. Now they understand that their way failed. Our way, the human way, is the only path forward. And the Vaxid? Asked Jane. Can we really beat them? Together with our new allies, yes, Alan said. The weapons we built, in secret during our council years, are more advanced than they know. The ships we've been building since we left are ready for battle. He pressed a button, and the screen changed to show thousands of Alliance ships gathering. Human vessels flew alongside Kral warships, Vezra carrier ships, and the crystal ships of the Korathi. We'll push back the Vaxid. We'll reclaim the fallen worlds. And we'll build a new galactic order, one where no species is held back for being too ambitious or too different. 2 weeks later, in the space above what had been the Council's homeworld, a massive battle raged. Alliance ships fought against the organic-looking Vaxid vessels. The battle was fierce, but the Alliance was winning. On the bridge of the command, Ship Freedom, Bill Grant and Jane Miller watched as their forces pushed the Vaxid back. The Council never understood why holding us back was so dangerous, Jane said. If they had let us develop normally, we would have had the strength to fight. The Vaxid from the beginning. Bill nodded. Their fear of human potential was their downfall. Now that potential will save what's left of their civilization. A message came in. Captain Greg Nelson appeared on screen. Sir, the Vaxid forces are retreating from this system. We've won. Bill looked at Jane. This is just the beginning. We have dozens of systems to reclaim. But today, we've proven something important. What's that? Jane asked. That when humans are unchained, when we're free to be who we really are, we don't destroy. We build. We create. We save. He looked out at the stars. The Council feared us for the wrong reasons. They should have feared what would happen if they forced us to leave. As the Alliance fleet moved to secure the system, a new message arrived from Earth. President Alan White appeared on screen. The last 3 Council species have agreed to join the Alliance. The Galactic Council is officially dissolved. Jane smiled. So it's done. The new era begins. Yes, Bill said. Humanity's era. Not because we rule over others, but because we finally showed the galaxy a better way forward. Together.